Hello there. Welcome to. I can't even drink this because I've started recording. Welcome to another episode, another installment of the prep series that is unnamed. This is episode DOS number 2. We're going to be walking you through my lower session, which is very much a men's physique lower session. But then I'm also going to show you my starting physique. My honest physique. I never get why people say that. Why lie about a starting physique is kind of weird. So yeah, to be honest, it's in horrendous lighting. I'm gonna have to find a location in that posing room that you can see everything. It's kind of a bit glary, but nevertheless, we're gonna get into the second episode. So yeah, I'm gonna be walking you through this. So essentially, we started off with delts, just because I need frequency to my delts in order for them to grow, and I'm pretty much training them every single day. The next episode is actually explaining my whole training split, because I find it, if someone asks me like, what training split are you on, it's kind of like, it's hard to explain. So I'm going to explain it. It's not in a traditional sense, it's kind of like a upper lower pull push, but if you look at it, it's kind of like, it's not really that at all. So, and that's kind of how, when you kind of get intermediate advanced, I don't think you should be able to explain your split very well. I think if you're a beginner, you can literally just go, yeah, I'm on a push-pull leg split. I think once you get kind of intermediate advanced, it's kind of hard to say what split you're on because it's so like fucking individualized, it's unreal. So yeah, that's basically the rationale. The rationale for now training lats is I've got shit lats and I need more frequency to my lats and all of them for them to grow. Essentially, the reason why I'm training a lot of what I'm training now is frequency and just to bolster that and improve areas. The reason why arms is actually tagged onto this is quite simply it actually takes away from the end of my upper session, so I just tag it onto this leg day. I do it reasonably fresh into the session, just for the simple standpoint of like if I have shit arms and I'm leaving it to the back end of the session, like an upper session, versus fresh in a leg session, like near enough first thing, which one's going to grow more muscle? It's obviously going to be when you're fresh. So that's the rationale there. So we did 2 sets of biceps, then we did 2 sets of triceps, 2 sets of biceps again, 2 sets of triceps. That's pretty much it. 4 sets of each, easy peasy, nothing major. But yeah, second session in, and yeah, technically this is the 3rd day of prep. I have to say, and I was speaking to one of my clients and good friends, Joe, the other day, actually this morning, saying that the first week for me is always the hardest, and also like near the end of prep is obviously quite hard, or very hard. But it's like almost like a really quick adjustment to everything. Like you got to think like it was Christmas like 2 or 3 weeks ago, or maybe like even a week ago, and then all of a sudden you're in a dieting phase, and actually right now the calories are on the lowest I've ever been with dieting. So it's like it's quite a big transition, but week 2, 3, 4, it's just like hunger almost like subsides and goes. So yeah, I tend to find that the first week for most people is the hardest. It's when you kind of need to push in some tools pretty quickly in terms of dieting, like Greek yogurt with whey and protein and stuff like that. So that's basically where I'm at now, and obviously like utilizing caffeine and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at. But the reason for being quite aggressive at the start is quite simply, look, I got 21 weeks. It's not a fucking long time at all. Like when people say I've got like 24, 28 weeks, it's kind of like, man, that's just such a, it sounds so long, but like when you go through the process, you'll realize how quick it is, which is the very reason why we're very aggressive at the start, and then basically we'll taper off as we go down. But yeah, the plan is obviously to be in reasonably early, and if you follow my prep series before, I can get in pretty good shape pretty like fucking quickly, which is the rationale between why we didn't start prep a lot sooner than most. Is because I just have the ability to lose fat fucking quickly. With most people, I'd like to start them, especially if they're like men's physique, like 25, 28 weeks. Any like bodybuilders is more in the 30s, depending on body composition, of course. But yeah, that's the rationale for a shorter prep. I've traditionally liked shorter preps anyway. Like last prep I did was like 52 weeks, and that was just too long. Not to the fault of anyone, it's just from the simple standpoint of we had COVID to deal with, and that obviously pushed everything back. So, but essentially I didn't want a long prep this time. So we've pretty much got a small chunk of time where we're devoting our life towards this situation. We're not saving babies. That's very important to realise. We're not saving the world. We're not Greta Thunberg. We're quite simply just trying to get shredded. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously teach you how to get shredded, which is quite cool. It's very important within this, like the start prep as well, to realize that you're gonna take off large chunks of weight, and it's not necessarily going to be fat straight away. It's always like it's going to be water, etc., etc. And then from there, the first couple of weeks, you can then start seeing what kind of weight it's doing. I'm actually down already about 1.5 kilos, which is pretty significant if I'm honest. So yeah, just to explain the session a little bit. The start of the session, I'm obviously going towards like an upper style. So obviously I've gone through delts, I've gone through lats, I've gone through arm work. I'll then have like a 10 to 15 minute break, and then I'll go and attack the leg work, which you'll see like the adductor side of things. Obviously if I go like straight into like the last exercise is actually a hack squat. Like if I don't have a rest in between that and I've done like delts, lats, arms, adductor, like leg extension, leg curl, then fucking hack squats. Hack squats is gonna suck. So yeah, I just have like a 10 to 15 minute break. I just basically try and get hydrated, just try and rest for a bit, reply to clients and stuff like that, and then I'll go into the rest of the session. So yeah, all in all, this actually took me about 2 hours, which is a fairly long session. I might have to do something in terms of like later down the line in prep, just when steps are higher potentially. I might not have time to fit in a 2 hour session, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much the update. In terms of like how I'm feeling and everything, it's kind of like I'm conscious that I've only got 20 more weeks, and again I'll say that again, like it's not really a long time, but we've got it. We've got it. I think that the plan is obviously to get dialed in and then of course reverse into the show. That'll be in an ideal world. The plan is, I predict my stage weight, to be honest, to be around like 70, maybe even like in the 60s. So maybe even like 67-ish. 67 to 70 is about where my stage weight will be. Last time I stepped on stage, I was 70. Obviously, I've built a substantial amount of mass on top of that, but I do want to be leaner. I have to be leaner. I was lean before, but I think I can get leaner. I think I was standing on stage and I was kind of like, I know in my heart of hearts that I could have got leaner. So yeah, that's basically the plan of action, is that this time I'm getting leaner, which is good. And obviously like I've had the experience of the past prep, which is almost a diet hack in itself, like having an experience of what happened the last prep and kind of taking them tools and kind of applying it towards this prep. And now we have obviously the shape sitting at 86 kilograms on the nose this morning. So actually the time of this recording, we are exactly 86. Not too shabby. Again, the lighting's fucking shit, so I actually do look a lot leaner than this, but it is what it is. In terms of posing and everything else like that, I'm really going to have to get adjusted with some things, especially the back poses. But yeah, that's the starting point. That's the starting physique. Hope you're enjoying the prep series already. But yeah, it's time to see what's underneath this shit, because it'll be exciting. But yeah, starting prep with like some form of abs is unheard of for me, so that's good. Anyway, prep series episode number 2.